Hello Easy Nation, welcome to a very special video. Every year I've been doing a collection update, just basically go through my entire movie collection. And so we're going to start off this year. We're going to do it a little differently this year. I'm going to be doing it section by section. But it's all going to come out at once, one video, hopefully, unless it's, I guess, too long. But, so basically, I love movies, I love physical media, hashtag long live physical media. And I love finding movies. I love going to different stores, looking for new ones. I'm like, oh, I found this, cool. I found this, cool. I found this, cool. And then when the internet goes out, which the internet's very spotty today, I can be like, well, I can't watch something I really want to watch, so let's watch something that I haven't got to watch in a while. So, part one, my first things I've gotten out is my TV shows, because this year I separated my TVs and my movies differently. I put my TVs along with my video game and my other shelf. So the first part of this video is going to be nothing but TV shows. There's not a lot of them, but there is a few. So first off, we're going with season 2 of Arrow. I believe I bought this at McKay's. I love season 2 of Arrow. Probably my favorite season of it. I was watching it when my internet was out for 13 days earlier this year. Love that show. And that's something I would like to own the complete set of. Maybe one day whenever I see it on sale on Amazon. Next we have Avatar: The Last Airbender, the complete collection. Really love Avatar. I think one of the greatest cartoon series ever made. Such a good show. Story was amazing. Love it. Next we have the complete animated series of Batman, the animated series. Love Batman. Such a, especially for my generation, just such an incredible series. Love it. Next we have, this is a recent pickup, and this is the Battlestar Galactica complete series. The revived series from 2005. I love this show. I'm looking forward to checking it out, because I think that's something I will be doing in 2025. My girlfriend, she's never seen Battlestar Galactica. I'm sure she's very excited to watch it. She probably isn't, but she'll end up watching it, because so say we all. Next, I have the complete series of Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray. I bought this a few years ago. I believe I saw it at your Walmart or on Amazon. I can't remember where I bought it. But Cowboy Bebop, absolutely love this series. Such a good one. Next, I have the first season of Dexter. Probably my favorite season of Dexter. This is another one. I saw it online during Black Friday this year, but I was like, I don't know, because that last couple seasons are not the best. But that's something I would probably want to own the entire series of. Next, I have the entire collection of the David Tennant Doctor Who episodes. This is I believe this is seasons 2 through 4, plus all of his specials he did. Not the new David Tennant specials, because technically that would be like the 14th Doctor, but it's a 14th disc set. So I'm looking forward to checking it out one day. Also, I have Doctor Who: The Day of the Doctor. Love this. Loved it. It's like a little mini movie, basically. But Matt Smith, David Tennant, and then John Hurt as the Doctor for the 50th special was great. The first season of Dragon Ball Z, I started watching when my internet was out, and I actually really did enjoy rewatching it. I didn't finish it, but it's something I wouldn't mind going back and watching in its entirety. Next, we have Firefly. Love Firefly. Such a good show. Show that was canceled too soon. If you told me, is there any show you wish would have had a second season, Firefly would be number 1 on that list. Next, we have the first season of Mad Men. Just like with Dexter, Mad Men's a show that I would totally want to have the entire series of. The first season of My Hero Academia. Love My Hero Academia. I do a review every year almost, pretty much, of each season of it. Love it. Would love to own the entire collection. Next, I have Neon Genesis Evangelion. I don't actually like this series, to be honest with you. I watched an episode of it when the internet was out, and I was like, I don't really care for this. But I need to probably get another episode or two to find a way if I like it. And then I have the Sherlock series collection. This is a show I have rewatched in the past year. the girlfriend and I, we watched it, and she absolutely loved it, and I enjoyed rewatching it. The last season's a little hard to watch, but this was such a cool collection to own, and I absolutely love Sherlock. And my final thing on my collection for TV is Ted Lasso, The Richmond Way. Includes seasons 1 through 3 of Ted Lasso. Love Ted Lasso. It's one of my favorite shows, especially one of my favorite shows of the 2020 so far. I think it's just such a good show. It's a heartwarming show. It tells a great story. It's so smart. The characters are great. I absolutely love it. Alright, now let's start with the movies. Alright, so first off we have 3:10 to Yuma. This is a awesome Western movie that was directed by James Mangold, who's one of my favorite directors right now. But yeah, it's the Western. Christian Bale, Russell Crowe were in it. It's just such a good movie, and they're just trying to catch the 3:10 to Yuma, and the bad stuff's about to happen. It's a great Western. Next we have 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys is such an incredible little time traveling film. I really like 12 Monkeys. It's a movie I have only seen once, but I really liked it. Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, good movie. 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. This is a rare Michael Bay film that I actually do enjoy. And it's one of those films that I've recently rewatched, and it does hold up. I think John Krasinski is great. And this was the movie for me that really was like, okay, there's more to Jim than The Office than just The Office with him. Next we have 21 Jump Street. Such a great high school movie. The action's great. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill are great in the movie. I love the comedy in there. It's just absolutely hilarious. And also Brie Larson. I believe that was one of the first movies I remember really seeing her in. So yeah, this is really good. Next we have 22 Jump Street. 22 Jump Street was the sequel to 21. I'm surprised they haven't made a second one. This one during college, and it's such a good one. The action's good. The story between Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill as they kind of become more and more apart, becomes really good. And the post-credit scenes of all the potential different Jump Street movies is absolutely hilarious. Next we have 40 Year Old Virgin. I still think one of great comedies ever made. Steve Carell is absolutely hilarious in it, and it's a movie that really changed his career and made him more lovable. Because he was in The Office, was more of a dick, but then he was in 40 Year Old Virgin. You're like, oh no, we can make this guy into a more heartwarming character. So yeah, I really liked it. This is a recent pickup I got this year, and that is 101 Dalmatians. I've been wanting to own all the Disney movies, especially older Disney classic movies, and 101 Dalmatians is one of those movies that I really remember liking as a kid. I just haven't seen it since I was a kid, and yeah. Next we have 127 Hours. I've never seen this movie. It's Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a movie that was... I've heard it's really good. It's a movie I picked up at a Goodwill, and I'm looking forward to watching it one day. I've recently rewatched 1917. This was a movie that would have made my top 10 movies of 2019, but I couldn't see it until after 19 was over with. But 1917 is an absolute masterpiece of a movie. Recently rewatched it, still holds up. Next we have 500 Days of Summer. Love 500 Days of Summer. It's such a good little romantic comedy. Really tells a really good story between Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel's character Summer, who's very good. Adjustment Bureau is a movie I've recently rewatched this year, and I really like Adjustment Bureau. It's such a cool little film. Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt had that run in the 2000s where she was just in, or 2010s where she was in hit after hit after hit, and I think Adjustment Bureau is really one of those first early ones. Next we have Akira. This is an anime film I've never actually seen, but I've always heard rave things about it, and it's one of those films that I will want to watch one day. Next we have Aladdin. I love the original Aladdin. This is such a good movie. It's a movie I watched all the time when I was a kid. I remember watching the VHS over and over again, and really it's Robin Williams that makes this movie so incredible. So yeah, Aladdin, such a good movie. And then I have the remake of Aladdin. I've recently got this. I believe Rainy Cage gave it to me because he upgraded the movie to 4K. So I picked up the Blu-ray of it. So I do enjoy Aladdin. If I'm going to choose which one to watch, though, I'm going to watch the animation version over the remake. This is a movie I picked up this year as well. It was at McKay's. I had got such a good deal on it because I believe Rainy Cage had just bought the movie. He bought it at like like $30 or something, and I picked this up for like 11 at McKay's. It's the entire Alien franchise from Alien to Alien Covenant. Such a good collection. I don't know if I ever really want to watch Alien movies again, but I feel like I have to have the Alien movies in my collection. This is a movie I don't really like or want to own, but recently my girlfriend has moved into my house, and she has some movies, some Blu-ray movies, so I inherited her collection as well. So I got Annie, sure, and it's never been opened because you can see the promo from Walmart, which they don't do anymore, which is very sad. Next we have Apollo 13, such a good little Ron Howard movie with Tom Hanks. Such a good movie. I love that movie. Next we have the first Amazing Spider-Man. I don't own Amazing Spider-Man 2 because I really don't like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't have to own every movie just because I had to complete a collection. Amazing Spider-Man is such a good film. I really like it, and I really love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Wish we could have seen him again as Spider-Man, which we do a little bit. Next, we have Anchorman, The Legend of Rob Burgundy. One of my favorite Will Ferrell movies. He's absolutely hilarious in. And then everyone else in the movie is great as well. Next, I have Ant-Man. Really like Ant-Man. It's just it's a really more small, impactful movie. It also turns into like a little bit of a heist film, which I really enjoy. So yeah, Ant-Man's great. Next, I have Apocalypse Now, and this is a movie I don't know if I'm going to have in my collection much longer because I recently rewatched it, and I didn't really like it the second time I watched it because I watched it the first time. I was like, maybe I just didn't get it. I rewatched it when the internet went out, and I didn't enjoy it the second time either. So that might be a movie I get rid of, but it's such a iconic movie. It's kind of hard not to get rid of. Next, I have Argo. I've recently rewatched this movie as well. I love Argo. It's one of my favorite movies it was one of my favorite Ben Affleck movies. My favorite Ben Affleck directed movie. And, I mean, it tells a story about history. It's very tenseful. I mean, Argo is such a good movie. Love it. Next, I have Arrival, another movie I've recently rewatched. And this was my favorite movie of 2016. And I think Arrival is such a good movie. It really started that way for me of incredible Denis Villeneuve films. I think this is 2016. It might have been 2017. I think it was 16. Next, I have the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. This is a very long western. It's just a hard watch. I don't know if I ever want to watch this movie again. And I think I did this because I was doing a top 10 with Rainy Cage, and I was like, I need to rewatch it because I remember liking it. It's a good movie. It's a hard watch. Next, I have the Austin Powers trilogy collection, and I just noticed the back of the case has Dr. Evil in it, so I think that's pretty cool. So I don't really remember the Austin Powers movies. It's one of those that I wouldn't mind checking out again. Next, I have the original Avatar. I picked this up at McKay's. I think I picked it up at the end of last year. I really like Avatar. I definitely need to own Avatar 2 on Blu-ray or 4K. Maybe 4K because I just got me an OLED TV and it would look probably fantastic in OLED. Next, we have the original Avengers. This is a movie that I love, still love to this day. Is it as good as when I first saw it? No, but it's still a damn good movie. To be able to make this movie and to do what Marvel has done since is still an accomplishment. Next, I have Avengers Age of Ultron. I just picked this up 2 days ago, and it completes my Avengers series. Age of Ultron, not my favorite Marvel movie, but it's not a bad movie, and if I have to watch it again, I'll watch it again. It's definitely worth a watch again. Next, I have Avengers Infinity War. I think the best Marvel movie they've ever made, and it's just the Empire Strikes Back of the Marvel franchise. Thanos, the movie is all about Thanos and how he's trying to unite the Infinity Stones. I absolutely love Infinity War. It's such a good movie. I've seen it probably about 5 or 6 times, and I'll watch it another 6 times because it's that good. Next, I have Avengers Endgame. Love Endgame. Such a good little movie. Basically ties everything over, ends the Marvel story and into the next phase. Endgame's great. Next, I have The Aviator. Aviator's great. Leonardo DiCaprio plays, I believe it's Howard Hughes. Yes, Howard Hughes. It's such a good movie. I've only seen it one time, but I remember really liking it. Baby Driver, I can't remember if I've watched this year or last year. Again, me and my girlfriend, we do this game where I have all my movies on my phone. We randomly pick 3 movies. We randomly draw one movie. Whatever movie is picked, we watch it. And Baby Driver was one we watched, and she really liked it. So when I know she really likes something, then it's a pretty good movie. Next, we have Back to the Future trilogy. This is a movie series I wouldn't mind upgrading to 4K. I've actually only seen the first Back to the Future. I haven't seen Back to the Future 2 or 3, but Back to the Future 1 is an all-time classic film. Love it. Bad Boys for Life. This is a movie I've recently rewatched. I think I watched it before the new Bad Boys came out. And I do enjoy it. It was in my top 10 in 2020. There's an asterisk on it because 2020 was COVID year. But I really did enjoy Bad Boys for Life. This is a movie I'm really proud I picked up I got on my last McKay trip, and that was Bambi. Bambi is a movie I remember watching a lot as a kid. I don't remember anything about Bambi. So one thing I remember about Bambi is the mom gets killed. And so I'm looking forward to watching that again one day. Next, we have the original Batman movie on Blu-ray. And one thing I really like about this movie is it's like there's a comic book. It's kind of like a little bit of a comic book. It gives you kind of inside the movies. I mean, it's just such a cool little Blu-ray. I don't know if I ever want to upgrade this to a 4K because I like the Blu-ray so much. Next, we have Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. You know, I just recently was staying in a hotel and they had Batman v Superman on, and I was watching the first little bits of it. I enjoyed the movie, and this is the extended cut. This is a movie that I definitely wouldn't mind checking out again one day. And I like Batman v Superman. It gets a lot of bad hate, but I like it. Next, I have The Batman by Matt Reeves. This is a movie I recently rewatched. I didn't watch. I watched it before my OLED TV showed up, so I don't know how good it looks with the OLED TV. But I think this movie is incredible. I'm looking forward to Batman 2. Penguin was great. Next, we have Beauty and the Beast. I absolutely love Beauty and the Beast. It's one of my favorite Disney animation films. Probably what is one of my favorite Disney animation films. And it's a film that I wouldn't mind. I could watch it anytime. And I like it better than the live action, which I don't own the live action of it. Next, I have Belfast. This is a movie that was in my top 10 movies the year it came out. I can't remember what year. It was a couple years ago. But it's Kenneth Branagh. Tells kind of a biopic on him. Very, very good movie. Big Hero 6. This is a movie I believe I picked up from Randy Cage. I think he upgraded it to 4K. And I like Big Hero 6. I've only seen it once or twice. And it's one that I know the girlfriend hasn't watched it, so I'm sure we'll get there one day. Next, we have Big. I really like Big. I think Big is a really cool Tom Hanks movie. I think this is the movie that really broke Tom Hanks out into a big time star. Next, we have The Big Lebowski. I really like this Blu-ray because it has it's like a little mini book. There's like bowling stuff and just kind of behind the scenes, and the artwork's really cool. I think and I love Big Lebowski. It's got the over the line, Walter, over the line. Am I the only one who hasn't lost their damn mind? And then we have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The first one, I've actually never seen Bill and Ted. I've seen the sequels to it, but I never saw the original. So, yeah, I'll watch it one day. Next, we got Bill and Ted Face the Music. This is the one that came out a few years ago. I really liked the movie. I saw it one time. I really enjoyed the movie. It's awesome to see Keanu Reeves in something. It's pretty cool. Birds of Prey. This was the DC movie with Harley Quinn. It was alright. I didn't like how it went all Me Too on you, but it's always cool to see Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Also, I really like seeing Ewan McGregor in there. It's also pretty cool. Black Hawk Down. This is a movie I just recently picked up at McKay's, and this is a Ridley Scott film. It's a really good movie. I didn't know. Like I said, I've seen it before. Really liked it. It's a movie that I wouldn't mind checking out again. So that's why I got it. Next, we have Black Panther. Loved this movie when it came out. It's just such an incredible film. Made my top 10 year it came out. And Chadwick Boseman was perfect for Black Panther. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, however, it's not my favorite movie. This is a movie I picked up from Randy Cage, and I was just like, I guess I'll take it. So I don't know if I ever really want to watch it again, but me and my girlfriend are planning a Marvel rewatch. Right now we're getting ready to start Iron Man, so it'll be a while before we get to that movie. Blade. I've actually never seen Blade, and I looking forward to watching Blade when it comes out. It's still in plastic, so we'll watch it. We'll watch it eventually. Next, we have Blade 2. This one's directed by Guillermo del Toro, and I heard it's better than the original Blade. Like I said, I'm gonna check it out one day. So, and I've heard Blade 3 is really not that great. Next, we have Blade Runner: The Final Cut. I mean, Blade Runner's not my favorite movie ever, but it is a sci-fi classic you kind of have to have in a collection. I like the sequel a little better. Next, we have Blade Runner 2049, which is a sequel to Blade Runner. I absolutely love this movie. It was my best movie of the year it came out. Another movie directed by Denis Villeneuve, which is one of my favorite directors right now. Love that movie. Next, we have Blinded by the Light. This is a movie about this. I believe it's a Pakistani teen. He moves to London and he falls in love with the music of Bruce Springsteen, and it's just a great movie. I really like it. Next, we have Bohemian Rhapsody, which is a movie biopic about Freddie Mercury. It was a really good movie. I don't think Rami Malek should have won the Oscar really for the movie, but he was really good in it. It just, I've seen better movies, especially on biopics. Next, we have a few Bourne movies. We have Bourne Identities. This is the first of the Jason Bourne movies. This is my favorite one of the series. It's just a great little story. And then Bourne Supremacy, the action is absolutely incredible. I think it does a really good job. And like I said, I really like that one. And then I have the Bourne Ultimatum, and I really like the Bourne Ultimatum. It finishes up the Bourne trilogy, even though they made 2 more Bourne movies. But the third one really ties everything together and really shows you what the whole movie series was about. And then we have Bourne Legacy. One thing I like about Bourne Legacy is it takes place like right when Bourne Ultimatum's going on. So as Bourne Ultimatum's going on, Bourne Legacy is going on at the same time. I think it's an alright movie. It's not as good as the first 3 Bournes, but it's still pretty good. Next, we have Boyhood. Boyhood was a movie that made my top 10 a year it came out. I believe it was 2014, the first year I was doing YouTube videos. So it's a movie I actually haven't reviewed before because it was before I started doing reviews. But it's set in a boy's life, and they shoot a little bit of the movie for a 12-year period, and it's just a terrific film that like I said, it's just such a good movie. The Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club is an all-time classic film. I mean, you have your 5 teenagers. They're all in detention, and then they have to basically learn that they're all the same element. They're all kind of the same person. Such a good movie. One of my favorite John Hughes films. It's just such a great one. Breakfast at Tiffany's is a all-time classic Audrey Hepburn movie. It's not my favorite Audrey Hepburn movie, but it's probably her most famous film. It's what she's probably famous for, and it's just incredible. I mean, that outfit is just legendary. Next, we have Braveheart, and this is a movie that's on my Christmas list to update to 4K, and I might get it in 4K, I may not. It just depends on how family is sometimes. Next, we have The Bridge on the River Kwai. This is an awesome movie, 1950s movie, starring Sir Alec Guinness, and it's a World War II movie about them building a bridge for the Japanese. It is a great movie. It's a movie that I definitely want to watching it. It's still in the plastic. I just got it recently. Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids is an absolute hilarious film. Paul Feig, Melissa McCarthy, just great movie, great humor. Love it. Bumblebee. Bumblebee is that girl and the dog story, Iron Robot kind of style film. The movie's terrific. Made my top 10 a year it came out. Love Bumblebee. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Great together. Great Western. It's a little different from most Westerns, but I do really like it. And then it's just such a great duo in the movie. Cabin in the Woods is a movie that I've never seen, but I've heard really good things about. So it's definitely one of those I want to check out. Captain America: The First Avenger. This is the first of the Captain America trilogy. It's set in World War II, and it's just I think it's a very underrated superhero movie and very underrated Captain Marvel movie. The movie does get its legs chopped underneath them, because it's trying to set up the Avengers, but it's still a pretty decent movie. And then we have Captain America Winter Soldier. my favorite standalone superhero movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love The Winter Soldier. I love how it becomes a spy movie and all that different elements. Captain America Civil War was awesome. The battle between Steve Rogers and Iron Man is great. Really sets up Avengers Infinity War really well. And then Civil War is just an absolute credible film. And I love the fight between the superheroes. I think that's always great. And also Simo, one of the most underrated Marvel villains. Casablanca, this is a movie that I upgraded to 4K either this year or last year. I think it was last year. I think it was one of the last movies I bought from Best Buy. I love this movie. I don't know how it will look in 4K personally, but I want to own the movie because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Casino, it's a Marty Scorsese movie that I have not seen. I heard good things about it, just have not seen it. Central Intelligence, really funny rock movie with Kevin Hart. It's probably one of my favorite rock movies ever made, and definitely my favorite Kevin Hart movie. Christopher Robin, this is such a sweet little movie. I love Winnie the Pooh, love those characters, and also love Ewan McGregor, so it's definitely a good movie. Definitely good translation into live action. The Chronicles of Narnia and the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I just noticed my movie has a crack in it. I don't know how that happened. That's so sad. Anyways, Chronicles of Narnia, I really like the movie. I heard they're making a new one with Greta Gerwig directing, so that should be interesting. Chronicle, I have not seen this movie. I've heard really good things about it, though. Another of my Disney collection is Cinderella. Cinderella. Really like Cinderella. It's a movie I haven't seen in years, but I've always enjoyed Cinderella. I've watched it all kinds of times on VHS. Showing my age there. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, great Steven Spielberg movie. This was like his second big movie. Came out in 1977. It was nominated for an Oscar. Spielberg just does really good in this movie. So yeah, Close Encounters is great. Cloverfield. Cloverfield is an all-time classic monster film, found footage. Also directed by Matt Reeves, who he's another one of those guys that's one of my favorite directors out there. This is another movie that I did not actually own. This is a movie that my girlfriend owned, Concussion. I've seen the movie. I think she actually hasn't seen this movie. But Concussion is a really good film. It tells a really cool, it tells a very interesting story about football players, about how concussions are really ending their lives prematurely. Another movie that my girlfriend owned, Colonia. Don't even know what this movie is. I don't think it got good reviews, so it's not one of those movies I ever really want to watch again. To be honest with you, I think the only reason she bought it was because it has Emma Watson in it. Cowboy Bebop the movie, I talked about earlier, having the Cowboy Bebop the series. Love Cowboy Bebop. It's such a good show. The movie's actually pretty decent as well. Crazy Stupid Love. Love this movie. Love Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell have great chemistry with each other. Emma Stone. This is like that first interaction between Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone movie. But I really like Crazy Stupid Love. Creed, such an awesome movie, just bringing back the Rocky feels to it, and I think Creed's just such a really good one. It was my favorite movie of 2015. Creed 2 was also really good. I really like it as well. It wasn't as good as the first Creed, and I think they did a rehash of Rocky 4, but it wasn't really needed. I don't have Creed 3. That's one movie I definitely should try to get. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is a movie I've watched pieces of. Liked it, just couldn't, just didn't finish it for some reason. The Darkest Hour. This is a movie I checked out recently. This was in my top 10 the year it came out. Love Darkest Hour. It's tells a great story. Gary Oldman's terrific. Won an Oscar for it, and love it. And then we have the Dark Knight collection. I just recently picked this up on Black Friday sale. Got a pretty good deal on it. It's on 4K. Looking forward to rewatching these movies in 4K, so I hope they're good. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I absolutely love this movie. It's my favorite of the Apes series. I don't have them in the order of the movies just because one starts with D, one starts with R, one starts with W, so they're going to be in more random orders. The Descendants is a Shailene Woodley, George Clooney movie. I think it's really terrific about how Clooney loses his wife, but he finds out she was cheating on him, and then having to bring his family back together. It's a really good movie. Also, Hawaii looks beautiful as always. Next, we have The Departed. This is Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, where one guy's a co-op, and then the other guy's not a co-op. I mean, he's not a fucking quap. I mean, it's just a great movie. Deadpool is a great little superhero comedy film. It's absolutely hilarious. The first one's my favorite one. I like Deadpool. I like the third Deadpool better than Deadpool 2. Speaking of which, Deadpool 2. It's fine. It just, I feel like it gets I guess it gets it's a little much. I think Deadpool 1, they had a lot more love for it. And Deadpool 2, they just kind of hurry up, wrote a movie, and made the sequel. So, yeah, Deadpool 2 is fine. It's just Deadpool 1's better, but I like Deadpool Wolverine a little bit more than those. Deepwater Horizon, this is a movie I picked up very recently. Still in its plastic. Really like the movie. I mean, it's about the Deepwater Horizon catching on fire and how a lot of people died during that incident. It's a good movie. Die Hard, one of the greatest Christmas classics you'll ever see. Such a good one with Bruce Willis, and then you have Alan Rickman, who plays one of the great villains, Hans Gruber, who's an international businessman. One of his first movies, which he would springboard with Harry Potter, Galaxy Quest. Die Hard with a Vengeance. I really like Die Hard with a Vengeance. Sam Jackson is Seuss. He tags along with Bruce Willis to stop some bombings and this one. I really like Die Hard with a Vengeance. I like the original Die Hard better, but the third one's pretty good too. I don't have Die Hard 2. I don't really like Die Hard 2 that much. Dirty Dancing, still in the plastic. I've seen this movie many years ago. It's a movie that I definitely want to check out again because I think it would be good. I think it'd be a good movie to revisit. The Dirty Dozen. This is a movie I watched this year for the first time. Did not love the movie, and I don't know if I ever need to watch it again, but it was fine. It was basically the Suicide Squad. District 9, a movie I've not seen, a movie I definitely want to check out one day. I've heard it's a mind thinker. Django Unchained, one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. It's just a great little western with Jamie Foxx, and you have Leonardo DiCaprio, and also you have what's that guy's name? Christoph Waltz is incredible in it as well. Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange. When I first watched Doctor Strange, I didn't love it. Every time I've watched it since, I've liked it a little more. I didn't really like the second one as much, so I don't have that one, but the first one's pretty good. Don John is absolutely hilarious. About Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he directs this movie as well. But basically, he's a guy, he's obsessed with porn, he gets a girlfriend, and basically has built sex too much in his mind. But it's a really good film. Downton Abbey, this is a movie I just picked up recently, actually like a day or two ago, and it's basically a follow-up to the original movie. Really like this movie. It's a movie I haven't really thought about since I saw it. I think I like the series better, but the movie's pretty good too. But I think this one is a pretty good extension to the series. The second movie was just like, hey, let's just have a sequel because the first one made a lot of money. Next we have Draft Day, a movie I've seen very recently. It's all about draft night, where they're trying to figure out who should they draft, and Kevin Costner is absolutely true. Dragon Age: Dawn of the Seeker is an anime adaptation of the Dragon Age about Cassandra Pentecost, how she becomes the lead seeker or she becomes a seeker for the first, not first enchanter, but the Divine. I mean, it's based off the video games. Really like the little movie. It's not. Next we have Dredd, and Dredd is based off of Judge Dredd. Sylvester Stallone, but this one is Carl Urban. He gets stuck in a building and he has to basically find his way out. Really like Dredd. It's really good. I had a lot of fun watching the movie. The action was really cool too. Drive, Ryan Gosling. I guess he drives. I've never seen the movie. Doctor Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Love this movie. I have seen it once. Absolutely loved it. Picked this up last year on Black Friday at, I believe, Best Buy as well. Like I said before, one of my last Best Buy movies. Screw them. Screw Best Buy. Sell physical media. Dumbo. I don't know if I've ever actually seen Dumbo, to be honest with you, but I want to own all the Disney movies, so especially a lot of the old classic Disney films. Alright, so now I have Dune. So I recently got Dune 2, and they had a special on Black Friday, and they didn't have Dune 2 for sale, and I was just like, well, the Dune 2 is for cheap. It's cheaper than buying Dune 2, so I'll just get them both again. And I already have Dune 1 on 4K, so I'll probably be trading that in to McKay's soon. But I love Dune 2. Dune 2 is my favorite movie of the year so far. I don't know if there will be a movie before the year's over that is better than Dune 2, but if there is, bring it on. Next, we have Dunkirk. This is a movie I believe I've watched this year. It's a World War II movie. Christopher Nolan, multiple different timelines. Just does classic Christopher Nolan stuff that I absolutely love. Dunkirk's great. Easy A. This is a movie I just bought recently. I remember liking the movie when I saw it. I don't really remember much. I think she's a whore, but she's not really a whore. But everyone thinks she's a whore, and then one person thinks she's a whore, but she's like, I'm not a whore. And then it's very, I guess it's a slut more so than a whore. So, or maybe she was a whore. I can't remember. I'm saying whore a lot. Whore! Age of 17, Haley Steinfeld movie. Absolutely incredible film. Woody Harrelson is good in the movie as well. Love Haley Steinfeld. And congratulations, because apparently she's marrying Josh Allen, who's a pretty good quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. The Emperor's New Groove. This is a movie I loved back in the day, and it also comes with Kronk's New Groove too, which is very decent direct-to-video Disney film. End of Watch. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. It's all found footage about these cops in L.A. and then how these gang guys want to kill Gyllenhaal. It's really good film. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I believe I picked it up this year. E.T. is it the perfect movie you can think of? No. Has it inspired a lot of stuff like Stranger Things and hell, even Star Wars Skeleton Crew? Absolutely. E.T.'s pretty good though. Speaking of Steven Spielberg, we have The Fabelmans. This is the last movie I believe he's directed. This is a loosely based off of his life. It's a really good film. It made my top 10 the year it came out. Next we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This was the first of the prequel Harry Potter movies set in the 1920s. I like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I feel like it could have been better. And Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, really enjoyed this film, and because if you've read the books, there's a lot of hidden stuff in there from the books. I was like, oh, that was really cool. It's cool that they brought that to light. So really like Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald. Do not have the third one because I did not like that movie at all. Now we have Fargo. Fargo, I've never seen. I've heard amazing things about it. It also has a TV show. Alright, so these are some of these movies that I don't really love, but these are movies that Rennie Cage gave to me. And first off, we have The Fast and the Furious, which I don't think is a good movie. Too Fast, Too Furious, not a good movie, but it's definitely a guilty pleasure of mine. Then we have Fast and the Furious. This is technically the fourth movie in the Fast and Furious release order, but third movie in the story. It's fine. Then we have Fast 5. Fast 5 is a lot of fun, especially when they hook the vault to the muscle car that are just going through Rio. Also, The Rock and Vin Diesel have that epic showdown. Fast and Furious 6 is good. It's basically set in London. That's really all you need to know about it. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Never seen it. Heard it's not that good. So I never watched. Furious 7. This is the one. I believe this is the last one with Paul Walker in it. And really, that's really the only thing that takes your focus of it. So that's fine. The Fate of the Furious. This is the 8th Fast and the Furious movie. This is the one where Vin Diesel goes evil, but he's not really evil because his kid is being held hostage. It's not that good. There's also a submarine in the Arctic. That's about all I remember. I saw that movie in Orlando when me and Randy Cage were at Star Wars Celebration. Fast 9, never seen it. Don't know if I ever will. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, an absolute amazing film. I mean, it's my favorite It is my favorite coming of age story. It's a great Matthew Broderick movie. It's just such a great story, and I absolutely love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Next, a movie I think I picked up here this year or the end of last year, and that is Field of Dreams. Probably my favorite Kevin Costner movie. Not his best movie, but my favorite Kevin Costner movie. There is a difference, and this one is great. I mean, he builds a baseball field because if he builds it, they will come. Next, we have Fight Club, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Just such a great film, and I can't talk any more about it because that would break the first rule of Fight Club. Next, we have The Fighter, which is Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale. pretty sure Christian Bale stole an Oscar from Mark Wahlberg in this movie, or from whoever a supporting actor, because the movie's really about Christian Bale, even though he's not really the fighter. But it's a really good movie. I remember seeing that movie on Christmas on Christmas one year with my parents. And then we have Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo. This was the one I got from Randy Cage. He gave it to me, and I think he upgraded his to 4K. I like Finding Nemo. I just watched this movie so many times when I was a kid. Internet working? Next, I have Footloose. This is the original movie with Kevin Bacon. Love this film. I've seen it a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it, and it definitely holds up. Next, I have the remake of Footloose, an actually decent remake that I actually really enjoyed. I watched the original over the remake, but still not bad. Next, we got Forrest Gump. And I really like this movie. It's a little overrated, yes. Should have not won Best Picture, absolutely. But I still really enjoy Forrest Gump. It's definitely a good one. Next I have Frost Nixon, a movie I started, didn't finish. Really liked what I watched of it, but I really only watched like 10 minutes of the movie. I've heard it's really good, and it's one that I definitely need to watch. Next I have Frozen. I believe I got this movie from Randy Cage during, I think he upgraded Frozen to 4K. And I like Frozen. I think it's a little overrated, but people just need to let it go. Next, I have Frozen 2. I might be in the minority, but I actually think I like Frozen 2 a little better. I think I like some of the songs a little better, especially Lost in the Woods, which is awesome. Next, I have Fury. Fury is the Brad Pitt. They're in a tank movie. It's a very interesting film. They're all in a tank during World War II. It's really cool. Next, I have Gifted. Gifted is really good. Chris Evans is in it. McKenna Grace, she's young in the movie, but it's just about this really smart girl, and Chris Evans is looking out for his niece. Next, I have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. One of the few David Fincher movies I have not seen. I've heard it's really good. It's based off the Swedish movies. I've heard the Swedish movies are better, but I don't really want to watch movies in their language. Next, I have Gladiator. Gladiator, this is in 4K. I recently reviewed this movie to get ready for Gladiator 2, and this movie holds up. And the 4K-ness of an OLED TV is absolutely worth it. Next, I have Glass. Glass is one of those movies that I just bought to finish the trilogy of films. I like Unbreakable a little more, but like I said, I like Glass. It's definitely one I want to rewatch. Next, I have the Godfather trilogy. This is probably one of those movies that I would like to upgrade to 4K one day, but I'm in no hurry. Love the Godfather 1 and 2. I've never seen Godfather 3. I've heard you don't really need to. Next, I have Godzilla. This was the 2014 Godzilla. It's very slow. You don't get to see Godzilla a lot. And it's really the only Godzilla movie I own. I wish I had Godzilla vs. Kong, because I actually really do enjoy that one. Next, I have Gone Girl. This is this is another David Fincher movie. I love David Fincher, but it's a Ben Affleck stars in it. It's such a good movie, and really you're like, oh my god, that girl's nuts. And Ben Affleck's he's like a dick in the movie, but he's pretty funny in it. It's good. I like the movie. Next, I have Good Boys. This is a really underrated comedy. It has a lot of super bad elements and Neighbors feel to it. But for kids, sometimes it's just fun watching kids just cuss. Next, I have Goodfellas. Love this movie. Absolute masterpiece of a film by Marty Scorsese. Probably one of my favorite Marty Scorsese films. And all my life, I wanted to be a gangster. It's just such an iconic line. Next, I have Goosebumps. It's okay movie. It's just, I don't know why I really own it. I would call it a guilty pleasure. Next, I have the all-time classic film, Gone with the Wind. This movie is, when I think of epics, Gone with the Wind is one of the films I think of. And it's a very long movie, but definitely worth every minute of it. Next, I have Good Morning Vietnam. Very good Robin Williams movie. He's very funny in it, but it's also it takes itself really seriously, especially around the Vietnam War. So I think it was able to hit those comedy elements, but also was able to do a little more. Next, I have The Greatest Showman. I believe this is a movie I got from my girlfriend, and I don't like the story, but I like the music. I like the music, and I think the real guy's a piece of crap. But you know, the music's what makes the movie. Green Book. Love this movie. Recently rewatched it. It was in my top 10 the year it came out. I believe it was 2017 or 18. I can't really remember. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to keep some of these movies years track. But Green Book is definitely a good one. And Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen are great together. Next I have Guardians of the Galaxy. Absolutely love Guardians. The action's fun. The sci-fi elements are cool. The characters are great. And I think it's a good one. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I believe this is one I got from Rain Cage because this is not a movie I would seek out on my own. It's better than when I first watched it, but still not great. Hacksaw Ridge is an awesome biopic. Made my top 10 the year it came out. And Andrew Garfield was robbed of an Oscar for this movie because he was absolutely incredible in Hacksaw Ridge. Next, I have The Hangover. I got this at Big Lots this year. It's a steelbook. I think it's a pretty cool steelbook too. Also, really like The Hangover. Next, I have Happy Death Day. This is a slasher film mixed with Groundhog's Day. She has to repeat the day over and over again, and she keeps getting killed. It's very funny, and it's really satisfying. Next, I have the Harry Potter collection on Blu-ray. This is one of those films. All 8 of these films are very special. I really like the books probably more just because that's really what got me into reading books. But I love Harry Potter. It's definitely one of those I like. It's definitely one of those movies that I would think about upgrading to 4K one day. Next, I have The Hateful Eight, a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's basically Reservoir Dogs, but set in the West. That's the easiest way to describe it. If you've ever seen Reservoir Dogs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sam Jackson's also really good in it. Next, I have Heat. Heat is very good. It is Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. They're on two opposite sides. Pacino is the cop. De Niro is the criminal. And that moment where they're in the diner, where they're going like, one of us is going to get the other one. That's just how it's going to be, and that's all we're going to say about it. And the action's is great. Hell or High Water is a modern day Western written by Taylor Sheridan. And I was telling someone, I said, I liked Taylor Sheridan before it was cool to like Taylor Sheridan. Hell or High Water is one of those movies that was really how I remember him mostly. Next, I have Iron Man 2. I need to get Iron Man. I really like Iron Man more than Iron Man 2. And to be honest with you, when I bought Iron Man 2, I thought it was the original Iron Man. But, you know, Armie Hammer's fine. So... Next, I have Hercules. Hercules is one of those other Disney animated movies I want to own in my collection, and I'm glad I have it because I love Hercules. Next, I have Hitman's Bodyguard. It's okay. I mean, I saw this. I think I got to see this in an early screening, and it was, like I said, it was fun. Next, we have The Hobbit: The Unexpected Journey. This is my favorite of the Hobbit series. I like the musical elements of it. I like Martin Freeman as Bilbo Baggins. Just overall, it was okay. Next, I have Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug. This is the second of the Hobbit series. I like the dragon elements. I didn't like the ending that great. And the Hobbit Battle of Five Armies is not that good. Next, we have How to Train Your Dragon. Absolutely love this first How to Train Your Dragon movie. It's probably one of my favorite DreamWorks movies. Whenever he's flying for the first time, it's just memorizing. I'm very looking forward to the live action coming out next year. Then we have How to Train Your Dragon 2. Really like this movie. I like the first one a little better, but this one is such a good one. It made my top 10 in 2014. And then How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World. I just think it's okay. I think it was a letdown from the first one. Next, I have the Hot Fuzz Shaun of the Dead combo set. Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I think it's incredible. It's hilarious. It pays homage to a lot of the buddy cop comedies. And then we also have Shaun of the Dead, which is another of the Simon Pegg or part of the Cornetto trilogy. I don't think I own The World's End. I need to get The World's End, but Shaun of the Dead is cool because it's kind of like Hot Fuzz. It's paying homage to zombie movies. And then I have Hugo. Hugo is a very good Marty Scorsese movie. Very different. It has a little more of a Spielberg feel to it, but I think Hugo is really good as well. Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is a movie I have not seen since I saw it on VHS. But like I said, it was cool to own. It's cool to own all the Disney movies. The Hurt Locker. This is a movie that I think I've seen. I'm not really too sure I've seen, to be honest with you. But it's one of those movies that I would definitely check out. This is a movie that it's not technically my movie. It's my girlfriend's movie. If I Stay, which sure. Next is I Love You Man. This is a very funny comedy with Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. Just basically about a guy being friends with another guy. It's pretty good. Next I have Imitation Game. Imitation Game's great. It has Benedict Cumberbatch, Keira Knightley. This is the guy who created the computer, which is based off what the Apple logo is based off of. The apple that was bitten out of. Very good movie. Next I have In the Heights in 4K. I recently picked this up at McKay's. Really enjoy In the Heights. Was in my top, I think it was my number 2 movie in 2021. I believe that's the year it came out. And I really like the director of In the Heights. I mean, he did Crazy Rich Asians and Wicked. Next I have Inception. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably my second favorite movie of all time. Christopher Nolan. I mean, it's just such good. A dream within a dream within another dream. This is a movie that's on my Christmas list to be upgraded to 4K. So we'll see if it gets upgraded. Really like Inception. Next I have The Incredibles. This is my first this is a Pixar film which I absolutely love. I've watched this movie so many times and it's incredible. Next I have The Incredible Hulk. This is another MCU film. This is basically about The Incredible Hulk. Kind of its origin story, but not really. This is starring Edward Norton, so it's not Mark Ruffalo, which makes it a little confusing in the timeline, but it's fine. Next we have Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I call it Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it has Indiana Jones at the top, so it goes in the I section. Love Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's a great little action movie. Some of the set pieces are iconic. It's not my favorite Indiana Jones movie, though. Next we have Temple of Doom. My least favorite of the 3 Indiana Jones movies, because there's only 3. Well, technically 4 with Dial of Destiny, which I bet you didn't hate. This one's fine. It's technically the first of the series because it takes place a year before Raiders. It's just the setting's weird. I just like to see Indiana Jones fight Nazis. And then next we have Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This is my favorite Indiana Jones film. I mean, he's fighting Nazis. I mean, what more do you want? And also his dad is Sean Connery. I mean, what more could you ask for in a movie? It's very great. Like, I love the scene of the plane whenever Sean Connery shoots the plane out, and Harrison Ford's like, what's going on? He's like, it got to son. It's just so great. Next we have Inglourious Basterds. Inglourious Basterds is a great movie. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. The ending's kind of crazy, and and also Christoph Waltz is just, oh man, he's great. Inside Out. This is a movie I bought recently. Really love this movie. I wish the sequel was as good as the first one, but the first one you're like, oh man, this is really cool. You can do all kinds of stuff with the emotions as they grow up, and then the second one doesn't really. I feel like they try to do that. It just didn't hit the level I wanted to hit. This is The Interns movie I just picked up 2 days ago, and it's Robert De Niro. He is a older intern and halfway to the boss. Very sweet little movie. Next we have The Internship with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. This is a very good movie that I think it's a little more of a guilty pleasure, but I think it's really good. Next I have Ip Man. Ip Man is a great little Chinese versus Japanese, Kung Fu versus martial arts kind of film. I've only seen it one time. I saw it on Netflix back when I was in college. Really dug it though. Interstellar is a great Christopher Nolan movie. Love the space elements to it. It gets a little trippy at the end, but Matthew McConaughey is Matthew McConaughey. All right. The Iron Giant is one of my favorite animation movies of all time. This movie makes me cry every time I see it. Absolutely incredible. It, the first one, I don't have It Part 2, which I wish I had waited to buy this movie because I bought it at Big Lots, and there was a collection of It 1 and It 2 on Black Friday, and I wish I got that instead, but it's fine. But I really like it, even though it kind of scares me a little bit. It scared me to death as a kid. Next I have the Jack Ryan collection. It has the Jack Ryan Shower Crew with Chris Pine, The ones with Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin, and then the ones with Ben Affleck and Harrison Ford. I've never actually. The only one I've seen is Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, and I was like, I want to own all the I want to own all the Jack Ryan movies, and this was a cool little collection to own them all. I like Jack Ryan's. I like the John Krasinski TV show better than I like the movies, but overall, I do like Jack Ryan's. This is one of the things I'm most proud of recently, and that is the James Bond collection. This has every James Bond movie other than No Time to Die, which I do have, which I'll get to in a little bit. But I love the James Bond movies, and I want to own all of them. And this was such a cool. It's for the 50th anniversary of James Bond. Next, I have Jaws. Jaws is an incredible film. Steven Spielberg, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Yes, it's a horror movie. The monster has its own theme song, and it's so good. And it created a universal fear of sharks hating humans, hating the beach, will not go in the ocean because of a shark attack. This is the fourth or fifth Jason Bourne film. I didn't like this movie as much. I think the first three were good enough. The fifth one was just a little much. Next, we have John Wick. John Wick was the biggest surprise I've seen in a movie theater in a very long time. When I saw John Wick the first time, and I've gone back and watched it. It's still just as good as when I first watched it. John Wick Chapter 2 is really good too. The action's a little good. It's pretty good. The only problem with this movie, I never feel like John Wick is ever in danger. Chapter 3 was insanely fun time. I like his rival he gets in the movie, but it's pretty good as well. And John Wick Chapter 4, I think it's either the first one or this one's the best one. 4 is pretty good. And it's cool to see Donnie Yen in there as the blind assassin. So yeah, the John Wick movies are great. Looking forward to the next ones. Joker, really like Joker. I hate that Joker 2 came out because it kind of makes me rethink my thoughts of the original Joker film, but it's still pretty good. Next, I have Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. I've only seen this one. I really like the movie. It's a great action, great comedy, and very good movie. Next, I have Jumper. Not a good movie. Guilty pleasure? Absolutely. I mean, Sam Jackson with a white wig, with airspray, trying to find portals? Sure, it's absolutely a hoot. Next, I have the original Jungle Book, which is not one I love, but I was like, I might as well try to own all of them. And then the live action version of Jungle Book, which I actually thought was incredible. Jon Favreau making the jungle on a green screen is still incredible. Next, I have Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League, which is by far the superior version of the Justice League movie. Sometimes when you hear an opinion and someone says the Josh Whedon Justice League is better, that's when you know opinions are not true. Because this movie is incredible. I hate that we never got to see any more of Zack Snyder, especially where he was building up to it, but it's alright. Next, I have I just got this on Black Friday. This is one of my Black Friday sales I got. And this is the original Jurassic Park on 4K. I love that one. Next, I have The Lost World, Jurassic Park. I think I picked this up on my big McKay trip I did with Rain Cage early in the year. It's alright. The end kind of becomes a Godzilla movie, but still, it's alright. And then I have Jurassic World. Is this a perfect movie? No. Is it enjoyable? Yes. Is it ridiculous? Absolutely. And that's Jurassic World. The other two, I won't talk about it. Next, I have Just Mercy. I actually never saw this movie. I was going to, but it didn't come out till January, and then I just never watched it. But I'm always down for a courtroom drama movie, and I also like Michael B. Jordan. Next, I have The Karate Kid. Love The Karate Kid. Love Cobra Kai, but this one, Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence, Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai. Love this movie. Next, I have Kick-Ass. This movie, it kicks ass. It's great. The superhero isms in this movie is awesome, and I think Kick-Ass. This is one of those films that really, I was like, Matthew Vaughn's a really good filmmaker. He's kind of fallen off for me, but Kick-Ass and Kingsman were really great. Next, I have Kiki's Delivery Service. I have this movie on 4K. I bought it, I believe, earlier this year. Love this movie. I have not opened the plastic yet, but it's one of those movies that I'm looking forward to rewatching whenever it ends, when we land on it for the movie game. Next, we have Kingdom of Heaven. Really like this movie. Ridley Scott. Epic, about the Crusades. About one of the Crusades. Really good movie. It's one I want to watch it again. Next, I have King Arthur: The Legend of the Sword. This is the Guy Ritchie take on the King Arthur story. Very enjoyable film. I got to see the movie early, or did I not? I can't remember if I did or not. I don't think I did, actually. But I really did like the King Arthur movie. It was a lot of fun. Got bad reviews, but I think the reviews were unjust for it. Next, we have Kingsman: The Secret Service. Absolutely love this movie. The action is incredible. Matthew Bond directs the hell out of it. The characters are cool, and it was very much like a James Bond, paying homage to a lot of the spy films of Jason Bourne, James Bond, all that kind of cool stuff. Next, I have King Richard. This is a movie I just bought 2 days ago. Love King Richard. Made my top 10 the year it came out. It's one of those films that I definitely mind checking out again. Next, we have The King's Speech. This is a movie about King George VI and his, or 7, I can't remember King George VI. I'm reading the description on the back about how he has a speech impairment and he builds his friendship with this speech therapist who helps him speak. This was a really good movie. Won the Oscar back in 2010. Don't know if it deserved the Oscar, but it's still a very good movie. Next, we have Knives Out. Knives Out is incredible. I really like it. Love the characters. Daniel Craig's amazing in it. Really like the sequel, Glass Onion. Would love to own that on Blu-ray or 4K, but Netflix refuses to release their movies to physical media, those bastards. Next, we have Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2, another Quentin Tarantino movies. I love both of them. I prefer Volume 2 more, but they're really one movie. Next, we have Kubo in the Two Strings. This is a Leica movie. It's the claymation, stop motion, animation style. Really dug the story. It was really cool. Really liked that movie. I believe it made the top 10 when I did it back in 2016. Next, I have Kung Fu Panda 2. I need to own Kung Fu Panda 1 and 3, but I still believe the movie will go down in prices, so I just haven't bought 1 and 3 yet. Or I couldn't find Kung Fu Panda 1. That's probably more likely. Next, we have, but Kung Fu Panda 2 is my favorite of the series. Next, we have LA Confidential. I've never seen this movie. I bought it on our McKay's trip. It's a movie I definitely need to check out one day. Next, we have La La Land. This was my second favorite movie of 2016. Absolutely love it. Love the musical elements. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, once again, are complete movie magic. Next, we have Lady and the Tramp, and this is like a Diamond Edition where it has the DVD and Blu-ray. So it's more of a DVD case than a Blu-ray case, but I like Lady and the Tramp. I haven't seen it in years. I like the remake they did on Disney Plus, and it was fine. Next, we have The Last Naruto, the movie. This is a sequel to the Naruto anime series about Naruto and Hinata basically getting hooked up. It was a decent movie. Next, we have The Last Starfire. This is a really classic 1980s movie where this guy, he's really good at this video game, gets abducted by aliens because he can help this alien race out. It's very 80s, very enjoyable though. Next, we have The Last of the Mohicans. This is a movie I believe I bought on Amazon. I've never seen this movie. I've heard really good things about it. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. But it's Daniel Day-Lewis, so I'm sure it's good. Next, we have The Legend of Tarzan. I don't know how I got this movie. I think it's either Rainy Cage gave it to me. I'm pretty sure that's what it was because I've never even seen The Legend of Tarzan. But I've heard it's enjoyable. Next, we have the Lego Batman movie, which is my favorite Lego movie. Batman is hilarious in the movie, and like the opening credits, he said, "Warner Brothers, the studio Batman built." That's right, I told you, Superman. It's just Will Arnett's great as Batman. He was about the only thing I liked about the Lego movie. Next, we have the Letters from Iwo Jima. This is the Battle of Iwo Jima from the Japanese perspective, directed by Clint Eastwood. Probably my favorite Clint Eastwood directed film. Letters from Iwo Jima is great. I really dug it. Next, we have Limitless. Limitless is really cool. It's not the greatest movie ever made, and I also really like the TV show that got canceled. I think they only did one season of Limitless, but this was a really good, decent movie. I would love to have a pill that allowed me to unlock my entire brain. Just for one day, I could get all kinds of stuff done. Next we have Lincoln. Lincoln is an absolute masterpiece of a film. It is Daniel Day-Lewis becomes Abraham Lincoln. It's like they got in the TARDIS and picked Abraham Lincoln to just shoot some scenes with us, man. So yeah, Lincoln's great. Next we have Lincoln, a lawyer. This is Matthew McConaughey. He's in a Lincoln. He's a lawyer. Once again, I love courtroom drama movie, and McConaughey's good. This really starts the McConaissance in the 2010s. I mean, come on, he's good. I mean, it's alright. Next, we have The Little Mermaid. I can't remember if I bought this movie on my own or if this is one of my girlfriend's movies. And I love Little Mermaid. It's one of those movies that started the Disney Renaissance. And Little Mermaid's a good one. Some of the songs are really good. Like Part of Your World and Kiss the Girl is pretty good. And also Under the Sea. Speaking of Disney Renaissance, we have The Lion King. Lion King is one of my favorite animation movies ever made. I mean, the story is great. The characters are great. The songs are iconic. Hakuna Matata, I Just Can't Wait to Be King. The Circle of Life, iconic. Great Hans Zimmer score, which he won an Oscar for. Love The Lion King. Next, we have Edge of Tomorrow. This is a movie I've recently picked up on 4K. From the Black Friday sales. Love Edge of Tomorrow. Looking forward to the sequel if it ever gets made. If it doesn't, it's fine. But Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt are terrific together. Next, we have Logan. Logan was a great Wolverine movie. Kind of told the old man Logan story in a very interesting way. And the action's great. The blood on the claws was cool. It's not a movie that I've ever really needed to rewatch, but I'm sure I'll get there one day. Lone Survivor. I don't think I've ever seen Lone Survivor, but I really like the director Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg together. And Lone Survivor should be a good one when I decide to finally watch it. Looper. Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, directed by Ryan Johnson, who. This was just such a cool little time travel film. I really like it. I like how they made Levitt look a little bit like Bruce Willis, and Levitt looked a little bit like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I thought that was really cool. But once again, Emily Blunt, she's very good in the movie. I love me some Emily Blunt. Next, I have The Lord of the Rings, the Extended Edition on Blu-ray. Once again, like Harry Potter and some other films, these are a movie series that I definitely wouldn't mind upgrading to 4K one day. Next, we have the Mad Max collection. I love this collection so much that I don't really need to upgrade this movie to 4K, but I really like the Mad Max movies. They're very good. And this one also comes with Mad Max Fury Road, the Black and Chrome edition, which is basically Mad Max Fury Road in black and white, which is, I think it looks absolutely stunning in black and white. Next, we have the original cut of the original Magnificent Seven, which is a great movie. I really like the story. The acting is really cool. Yeah, Magnificent Seven is a really good one. And then we have the remake of the Magnificent Seven. It's really the remake of the remake, because Magnificent Seven was a remake of the Seven Samurai. This one's a very good movie. It's just a little more cut to the point, and action's a lot more straightforward. Next, we have the Maltese Falcon. The Maltese Falcon is a classic Humphrey Bogart movie. It's just such a good film. I highly recommend checking out the Maltese Falcon. I picked this up during one of the Amazon Day sales. I've had it in my cart for a while, and I finally was able to pick it up. So yeah, Maltese Falcon's great. Next, we have the Man with No Name trilogy. This is Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I've never seen A Few Dollars More, but Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and Fistful of Dollars are great movies. Fistful of Dollars is a remake of Yojimbo, Japanese film. But like I said, all three are. I'm sure the second one's pretty decent too. Next, we have Malcolm X. This is my favorite Denzel Washington movie. I mean, it's just so very interesting. Next, I have Man of Steel. Man of Steel is one of my favorite Superman movies. Henry Cavill plays Superman, and he's absolutely terrific in it. The score to Superman is absolutely stunning. Next, we have The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, one of my favorite John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart films. I mean, this is still relevant to this day about gun laws and gun rights, and it's just such a very interesting concept of a movie. Love it though. I will definitely would love to watch. Can't wait to watch it again one day. Next, we have Marley and Me. This is a movie I just picked up 2 days ago, and this is I'm not a dog person, but even as a non-dog person, this movie made me cry. Marley and Me, very, very good movie. Next, we have The Martian, best comedy according to the Golden Globes. Really like this movie though. I love Matt Damon on Mars. It was basically like Gravity, but a lot better in my opinion. And the characters are great. I love the mission on Mars where he's trying to stay alive, but then you also have the mission on Earth where they're trying to figure out how do we get him back to Earth. I think that was really, really cool and really showed what scientists go through a lot. And then we had The Legend of Zorro plus The Mask of Zorro. I was wanting The Mask of Zorro, and it came with The Legends. I didn't really want The Legend of Zorro because I've heard not so good things about it. But it was higher to get The Legend of Zorro or The Mask of Zorro by itself. So I said, screw it, I'll just get both. The Matrix is just such an incredible film. Really changed the way action movies were made. Really, really like this one. Next we have Mean Girls. Mean Girls, really like it. Lindsay Lohan, very funny movie, and the plastics, I mean, great. Also really like the remake with the musical elements to it. Sure. Next we have Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Very interesting film. Can be a little depressing at times, but it is very good. Next I have Megan Levy. This is about a girl who she bonds with this canine. And then she's discharged, and then she's trying to get the dog discharged as well. Very good story, and I'm not even a big dog person. Next, we have the Mission Impossible movies. I have Mission Impossible 3, which is a really good film. I really like Philip Seymour Hoffman as the bad guy in that one. Mission Impossible 4, I mean, whenever he's climbing the tower in Dubai is really great. Rogue Nation might be my favorite one. I really like this, the Syndicate. I thought that was really interesting. And then Mission Impossible Fallout. I really love seeing Henry Cavill as a bad guy. And the mustache that ruined Josh Whedon's Justice League movie. Speaking of Tom Cruise, we have Minority Report. Incredibly good film. Just such a good film. Great sci-fi by Steven Spielberg. Very interesting with the precogs and all that stuff. So very good film. Moana. I am Moana. Really like this movie. It's one of my favorite. I do really like the Disney elements and the musical elements. It felt very classic Disney film, and I do think this might be one of Disney's last great movies because they were on a roll in the 2010s, and really I think Moana and Zootopia really ended it for them. Because after that, there really has been really great ones. Encanto was fine, I guess, but it really hasn't been anything that blew me away. Next, we have A Monster Calls. This movie made me cry in the movie theaters. Very heartwarming story and very good one. Next, we have Moneyball. Love this movie about baseball, about trying to change the way we go after players. And even though I'm a New York Yankees fan, and this kind of goes everything against what the Yankees stand for, Moneyball is pretty good. This is a movie that's not technically mine. This is my girlfriend's. Moral Instruments, City of Bones. Never watch it. No one really planned to. Next, we have Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, an absolute masterpiece of a film. I love that you can see some of the pictures in the Senate building in this film, in this cover. It's such a good movie. It's probably one of my favorite Jimmy Stewart movies, and I just think it's great. Next, we have Mr. and Mrs. Smith. This is Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. They're assassins. They don't know they're assassins. They're trying to kill each other. Very fun Doug Liman film. We have Mulan. Really love Mulan. The songs like Make a Man Out of You, A Girl Worth Fighting For, and then also just like the story. It's such a good one. I really like Mulan. Next we have Murder on the Orient Express. Really like this movie. I like the second one better, but I do really like Murder on the Orient Express. The train, Johnny Depp. I mean, there's so many characters in there that's very interesting. Next we have The Negotiator. This is, I believe it's a Spike Lee movie. I've never seen it. I've heard it's good. We'll check it out one day. Neighbors, very funny movie with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen. And I like the second one too, which is one I definitely should own. Next we have The Night Before. Great Christmas movie. It's about these three guys. They get together every Christmas Eve and they go out on the town. Very funny movie. Nightcrawler. Probably the best Jake Gyllenhaal movie. About this guy. He's a reporter, or he's trying to become a on-film reporter basically. And then he will cross any line to get the story. And then we have Now You See Me. I like Now You See Me. The second one kind of ruined the overall of how I feel about the first one. Next we have No Country for Old Man, along with the combo of Gone Baby Gone. I recently just checked out No Country for Old Man. Great movie. I understand why it's beloved as much as it is. Gone Baby Gone, though, is the one that I've watched multiple times from this collection. I believe this is one of my early Blu-rays, to be honest with you. But I love Gone Baby Gone. I love the dilemma it creates in your head. You're like, what would you do? Next we have No Time to Die. Really love No Time to Die. It's the last of the James Bond movies. It's the only one that I don't have the, like I said, the other one I had the collection of. This one's really cool too. It's the final Daniel Craig James Bond movie. Some people don't like the ending. I was like, it's fine. And I like it. This is a movie that I technically bought, but I don't really like the movies. Notebook's alright, and The Lucky One, don't even know what that is. Nicholas Sparks, bullcrap movies. Girlfriend picked it out, she wanted it, so there you go. Next we have North by Northwest, classic Cary Grant, Alfred Hitchcock film. I mean, the crop duster scene alone is so iconic in movies. I love North by Northwest. The spy elements of that movie are great. Next we have Ocean's 8. Ocean's 8 was the girl heist film, which was the Ocean's movies, and I really like Ocean's 8. It's one that I haven't seen since theaters, but I think if I rewatched it, I think I would enjoy it. Next we have Ocean's 11. This was the original, the heist movie, which was a remake of the original with Frank Sinatra. Really like this movie. George Clooney's great. Brad Pitt's good. Matt Damon is good. I mean, the whole movie is terrific. Oppenheimer, which was my favorite movie of last year. I picked this up during one of the Amazon sales this year, and I'm glad I picked it up because I absolutely love the movie. I haven't got a chance to rewatch it, but I got it on 4K, so when I get to watch it, it's going to be pretty awesome. The Other Guys, which is one of my favorite Will Ferrell comedies. Like, The Anchorman might be his best comedy, but my favorite is probably The Other Guys. I mean, the movie's so quotable. I'm a flamingo, you gotta let me fly! And it's just, or no, I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly! There's just so many great little moments in this movie. So yeah, Other Guys is great. Paddington 2, never seen first Paddington, but I remember the movie with Nick Cage where they're like, Paddington 2. Best movie ever, and then they're like crying watching Paddington 2. Definitely need to check out the first Paddington and the second Paddington before Paddington in Peru comes out in 2025. Pale Rider. I don't really remember much about this movie. It's not my favorite Clint Eastwood movie, but basically he's a preacher, but he's also a cowboy, so that's really all I want to say about that. Parasite was my favorite movie of 2019, one of my favorite movies of the 2020s. Such a good movie, very much of a thinker movie that is really, really interesting. Looking forward to checking that again, because I have only seen it that one time. Patriots Day, incredible movie about the Boston Marathon bombings. Matt Damon Mark Wahlberg is great in the film, and I just think the movie's great. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. The first one is incredible. The others are but this one, like I said, very, very good movie. Patton is such a great movie, starring George C. Scott, a script from Francis Ford Coppola. Really what got him his name was this movie. But this movie really changed the way biopics were made and how we kind of examine the characters. The original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston is just a great film, and I don't have anything more I need to say about it because it's great. And I mean, the ending, the Statue of Liberty, you're like, what? Platoon, this is a movie I've not seen. My brother got this to me for Christmas a few years ago, and I just have not had a chance to watch it yet. Pocahontas, I watched this movie on VHS over and over and over again. Really like Pocahontas. I don't know if it holds up. I haven't watched it in probably 15 years. So that's definitely one that I would like to see if it holds up or not. Pokemon Detective Pikachu, big Pokemon fan. Still to this day, if you watch my video game collection, you can tell that. But Detective Pikachu was a very decent movie that had no right to be as good as it was. Next we have The Post. The Post is great. I mean, Steven Spielberg directed it. I believe this made my top 10. If it didn't make my top 10 that year, it was an honorable mention. I really do like The Post. Meryl Streep is legendary. I had already had Power Rangers before, but I saw the Steelbook at McKay's, I think last year, and I was like, I have to have that. I mean, it's just such a cool steel. And I really like the Power Rangers. I hated there was no sequel to it, but It is what it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Predator was a great movie. It's the one creatures that really threaten Arnold Schwarzenegger as an action star, really. The Prestige, another Christopher Nolan movie. I have most of his movies, but The Prestige is great. I mean, you have two magicians of Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman trying to who's going to be the better of the two, and it's just such a good film. The Princess Bride, this is an all-time classic movie. I mean, the quotes, I mean, you never bet a Sicilian when death is on the line. Good luck storming the castle. And then there's just so many great lines in this movie. And the story is really cool as well. Princess and the Frog, not my favorite Disney movie, but I like collecting Disney movies, I guess. Prisoners is a Denis Villeneuve movie. I just checked this out recently. Really liked it. Liked some of his other movies better, but this is still a really good one. Pulp Fiction is a legendary film. Quentin Tarantino. I mean, this is what made Quentin Tarantino. I mean, the Ezekiel scene, the Bruce Willis stuff. The whole movie is just legendary. Quiet Place. Love this movie. John Krasinski proved to me that he could direct a hell out of a movie. And the movie, there's hardly any dialogue, and there's hardly anything, but you're just grasping at straws. You're like, man, this is a really good film. And Quiet Place Part 2 was really good too. The whole Quiet Place franchise has been very enjoyable. Ratatouille, this is a movie I picked up, I believe, this year at McKay's, and I think it's a very good film. Love it. Love the story it tells. Very, very good film. Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino's first movie. I think I own all of them except for maybe Once Upon a Time. Yeah, I own them all except for Once Upon a Time. So I guess I need to try to find that movie. But Reservoir Dogs is great. I mean, it's really created who Quentin Tarantino is as a director. Red vs. Blue Season 10. I mean, technically should be in TV part of it, I guess, but I really do like Red vs. Blue. It is kind of like a movie, though. Rear Window, I picked it up this year on my Amazon Day sale for Black Friday. Love Rear Window, one of my favorite Jimmy Stewart films. Rise of the Planet of the Apes started the new Planet of the Apes trilogy. This one had Jake Gyllenhaal, but really the movie shifted its focus to the apes instead of the humans, is what I always implore movies to do. RoboCop, I picked this up 2 days ago, and really the only reason I picked it up was because I had it was buy 5 get 1 for free, and I needed a 6th movie, and RoboCop was it. But I didn't hate the RoboCop movie. Next we have Rocky. Rocky is one of the best sports movies ever made, and it's just an awesome story about a guy who gets the American dream, gets a one shot in order to fight the champion, and goes like, I just want to go the distance. And the Rocky theme song is iconic. Rocky 4, I mean, this one is guilty pleasure. I mean, he fights a Russian, he climbs a mountain. What more can you say? I need to just buy the entire Rocky collection on next time I have a chance to. Rocky Balboa, great movie. I mean, about a guy who he's past his prime. He doesn't even box anymore, but he still has that. He still has that animal inside of him, and he wants to do it one more time. Very interesting film. This is called Run the Race. This is one of my girlfriend's movies. Never watched it. Don't even really know what it is. So, sure. Sabrina, this is Audrey Hepburn, Humphrey Bogart. Great movie, black and white, great romance story. Love Audrey Hepburn. Safe Haven, never seen it, don't know what it is. So, girlfriend's movie, that's all I want to say about that. Saving Private Ryan, incredible film. First half of the really the best parts of the movie is about Normandy. The search for Ryan, for me, it's not the best part of the movie, but some people absolutely think it's Steven Spielberg's best movie. I don't agree. Scarface, I picked it up this year. I believe I bought it at McKay's. It's in 4K. I've never seen it. It's one of those films I need to watch. Schindler's List. I've never seen this movie either, but I've heard it will mess you up, and I'm looking forward to be messed up when I watch it. School of Rock is a great coming-of-age story, and I love the music in the movie. I love Jack Black inspiring children to play music. I thought that was really cool. Scream, the original Scream, is an absolute awesome movie. I should buy a collection of the Scream movies, but like I said, I like the Scream movies. They're pretty good. Searching was a movie that was in my top 10 the year it came out. It tells a story about this guy whose daughter goes missing, and he's trying to find his daughter, and it's being told through like Facebook, like Messenger, through FaceTime, and that kind of stuff. It's very, very good film. And then we have Selma. Selma is kind of a biopic on Martin Luther King, but it's really about the Selma marches during the 60s. Very good film. The Searchers is my favorite John Wayne Western movie. The story is great. The Monument Valley shots are incredible. It's just, and then this is the original Taken. And that's all I want to say about that. It's such a good film. Serenity is the sequel to the Firefly series, and the movie is fine. It's just, I feel like we should have gotten more in the Firefly series. Seven is an absolute masterpiece of a movie directed by David Fincher. I mean, this is the iconic movie, and I say it a lot in my daily life. What's in the bag? Shakespeare in Love, great movie. Tells a story about Shakespeare falling in love with this girl while they're doing Romeo and Juliet. It's a very good movie. Gwyneth Paltrow is great in it. Also, Joseph Fiennes is very good in it as well. The Shallows, I bought this recently. I can't remember where I got it. I think it was McKay's. I can't really remember. It's not a bad movie. Blake Lively's very good in it. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Seven Rings. I got this on 4K. I think I got this at McKay's. I can't remember, but it was a really cool movie. Love it. Seen it a few times. Every time, it's one of the movies of the latest of the MCU that I liked more than most of them. The Shawshank Redemption. Absolutely love this movie. One of my favorite movies of all time, and I believe this is on my Christmas list to upgrade to 4K as well. Shazam! I like this movie. I really like the case because it's a holographic. So you see the kid, you see Zachary Levi. You see the kid, you see Zachary Levi. It's a pretty cool movie. And I didn't see the sequel one. I heard it wasn't that good. And then also DC canceled everything. So damn you, DC. Next we have Sherlock Holmes. This one's really good. I really like Robert Downey as Sherlock Holmes and Jude Law. It has a very Guy Ritchie feel to it. I like the Sherlock series better, but I do like these movies as well. And then we have Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows. Very good movie. Very good follow-up. It's cool to see Moriarty in there. But like I said, I like the series better. Next we have the Shrek collection. I have not seen Shrek I haven't seen Shrek since I watched them on VHS. So it's been a very long time. So these are movies that I definitely are on my watch list eventually. And like I said, I have never even seen Shrek the Third or Shrek Forever After. So the last one I watched was Shrek 2. So I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe in 2025 watching the Shrek movies. Sicario. This is another movie that was written by Taylor Sheridan. Like I said, I liked Taylor Sheridan before. It was cool. And then it was directed by Denis Villeneuve, this was my first Denis Villeneuve movie, and I was like, this is a really good movie. But not knowing what was going to come after Sicario is just mind-blowing. Silver Linings Playbook, great romance film. Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence are great. Jennifer Lawrence won her Oscar for this film, and I really like Silver Linings Playbook. Singing in the Rain, this is a movie I just recently picked up on my Amazon Day sale for Black Friday, and I love Singing in the Rain. It's a movie I've only seen a few times, but the musical elements are cool, and it's hard not to smile when you're watching a musical. Next, we have Sleeping Beauty, the Diamond Edition. I like Sleeping Beauty. It's one of those movies I watched a lot when I was a kid. The VHS, rewinding it and watching it again. So, yeah, Sleeping Beauty is very good. Slumdog Millionaire, Slumdog Millionaire is a very good film. Recently rewatched it, and I have to say I really liked it rewatching it as well. Very good film. Source Code, Jake Gyllenhaal, where he's basically dead and he has to repeat in order to stop this train bombing. It was a very good film. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This was one of the movies during my McKay trip that I was hunting for, and I'm glad I found it. This is classic Disney. This is just, without this movie, I don't know if Disney really stands the test of time. Snowpiercer is a movie directed by Bong Joon-ho, who directed Parasite. The class war on the train was very interesting post-apocalypse movie. Spartacus. Spartacus, great. Kirk Douglas plays the iconic role. This movie was directed by, I forget the director's name, but it's that big guy. Stanley Kubrick directed this movie, and it's really what broke him and was able to make him make a better, more crazy movies. Next, we have the original Spider-Man. Love the original Spider-Man. Love the Green Goblin as a villain, but Spider-Man 2 for me is my favorite of the 3 Spider-Man movies. I love Doc Ock. I like the journey that Spider-Man does. Like, do I really even want to be Spider-Man? It's affected my life, and it's just such a good one. Then we have Spider-Man Homecoming. Love this Spider-Man movie, and it was cool to see him struggling to become about how he trying to figure out, I just want to be a neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't have to be this big Avenger Spider-Man. And I thought it was really cool. I really liked this one. Next, we have Spider-Man Far From Home. I really didn't like this movie that much. I guess after Endgame, it was just fine. It's just, the next Spider-Man's a lot better. And Jake Gyllenhaal was fine in it. Spider-Man No Way Home. This movie was awesome. Probably the best movie Marvel has done since Endgame. Still waiting for as good of a Marvel movie as Endgame. Next, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Really love this movie. The animation was absolutely incredible. The second one's good too. I just bought the movie. It hasn't shown up yet. Split. This is a very good movie, psychological, and it's just a great M. Night Shyamalan film. Spirited Away. This is a movie I bought, I believe, this year. I bought it on. I bought the steelbook of it on Amazon. I really like this movie. I've seen it a few times. It's really good. It's a better version of Alice in Wonderland. Spy. It's a very funny Paul Feig, Melissa McCarthy movie. It's kind of like, it has like a James Bond feel to it, and it's very good. This is my one of my more recent picks. A Star is Born. Really like A Star is Born. It made my top 10 a year it came out, and I'm glad I finally was able to add it to my collection. I've been wanting to get that movie for a few years now. Stand By Me, still in the plastic. Love this movie. Great story. Stephen King story. Just a good movie. It's the better version of the Goonies. Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton is a great movie about the rap group NWA. Really enjoy Straight Outta Compton. I've only seen it the one time, but I really liked it when I saw it. Next, we're moving on to my Star Trek movies. First off, we got Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I don't really like this movie. And that's the Universal take on that movie. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, however, is a masterpiece. And luckily this happened, otherwise we probably wouldn't have other Star Trek properties come out. Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. Really like Star Trek III: Search for Spock. Very good film. Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. Really love this movie. The Star Trek IV's Voyage Home, really cool. They have to go back in time to save the whales. I mean, what more do you need to know? It's a lot better than it sounds. Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. Never seen this movie, but I've heard it's awful. Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. This and Star Trek Wrath of Khan have always debated for me what my favorite Star Trek film is. But I really like Undiscovered Country because it parallels what was going on with the U.S. during the Cold War, at the end of the Cold War. Next, we have the Star Trek Next Generation collection of movies. It has Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis. I've never seen Nemesis. I've never really heard great things about it. Generations is and so is Insurrection, but First Contact is awesome. And the Star Trek TV show is good. I would like to own all the Next Generation and original series. I saw the original series on DVD, but I want it on Blu-ray. Next, we have the 2009 revival of Star Trek. Really love this movie. This is probably what got me into Star Trek. Really like this one. Next, we have Star Trek Into Darkness. I liked it. I just didn't like that they whitewashed Khan. Even though I love Benedict Cumberbatch. And I didn't really like the role reverse of Kirk and Spock from Wrath of Khan. Star Trek Beyond. It's fine. It's just... I like the song Sabotage, though. Next, I have Stillwater. This is a movie that I wasn't going to buy on my last McKay trip, but my girlfriend picked it up. She said, this looks good. So, yeah, it's good. I'll buy it since you want it. So, give me an excuse to buy it. Stillwater's a good film, though. Matt Damon's great in it. I believe it's about how he's trying to get his daughter out of jail in France. It's pretty good. Next we have Superbad. Superbad is an absolute hilarious film. Love it. McLovin makes the movie on its own. And it was also the film that really broke out Emma Stone. Because I was like, who's that? Next we have Surrogates. This is probably not a good movie, but when I saw it the first time, I did enjoy it. Next we have The Sting. This is another Paul Newman, Robert Redford movie. I've never seen it, but I've heard it's really good. Hey, and I like Butch Cassidy, so I would probably like that. Next we have Steve Jobs. Absolutely love this movie. This was a very interesting take of how to do a biopic by setting it around his press conferences, and I really like Michael Fassbender as Steve Jobs. Does he not look like Steve Jobs, and does he not have some of the mannerisms? Yeah, but it's fine. Next, we have James Gunn's Suicide Squad, the movie that got James Gunn the DC Universe. Hope he doesn't F it up. I really like this movie, though. It's very wacky. It has a very Guardians kind of feel to it, but it's a very good movie. Next, we have Superman the movie, the original with Christopher Reeves. Really like Superman the movie. Without this movie, we don't get a lot of the superhero movies that we get today, and Superman is really good. Next, we have Tangled. Tangled is a very, very good movie, and I really do enjoy. It was, for me, this has started the new wave of Disney films. It started with Tangled, and then it really probably ended with maybe Encanto, because really there hasn't been really that many great Disney movies since those. Next, we have Taken. Love Taken. This is a film that really changed Liam Neeson's career. I mean, he says, "I don't know who you are. I know what you've done. If you leave my daughter, I will not come for you. But if you do not, I will find you and I will kill you. Good luck." And then, "I told you I would find you." Just a very easy, simple movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the not Michael Bay, but Michael Bay produced film with Megan Fox. The first one's actually not a bad film. Had moments of goodness. It's just, the second one was awful. Next we have The Terminator. I love The Terminator. Really, James Cameron. This is, for me, one of my favorite James Cameron movies. Well, this one's pretty good. The second one's a little better. But like I said, I really like Terminator. I love how cheap it looks, made it like a horror movie. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I just upgraded this movie to 4K, and I'm looking forward to watching Terminator 2 on 4K because I really liked it. I recently rewatched Terminator 2 when I was on vacation. It was playing on TV before we left. Next, we have The Theory of Everything. This is an Eddie Redmayne biopic on Stephen Hawking. This is a very, very good movie. He won an Oscar for this film, and it was very interesting. I've recently rewatched it. Holds up, which is always happy. Next is This Is Where I Leave You. I've never seen this movie. This is a movie my girlfriend was in her collection. So, there you go. Next we have Three Kings, a David O. Russell film. I heard this is really good, but I've never seen it. Next we have the first three Thor movies. I don't have Thor, Love and Thunder. I'll pick that up one day. But I really do enjoy I enjoy Thor 1 and I enjoy Thor Ragnarok really a lot. I don't really like Thor 2 that much. Next we have Titanic, another James Cameron movie. I really like Titanic. I love watching the ship go down, and it was memorizing. And there was enough room for that on that door for Jack Rose. You're just selfish. Next we have Top Gun in 4K, the original. I really love Top Gun. It's a movie I haven't seen in a few years. I really would like to see how good it looks in 4K. I bought that. I don't believe I bought that at Best Buy. And then I have Top Gun Maverick. I think I also bought this at Best Buy. So, one of the last few movies I'll get from Best Buy, those bastards. But this is probably my, so far, this is probably my second favorite movie of the 2020 so far. Because I think Dune Part 2 is a lot better than Top Gun Maverick. But this is a close second. Next we have The Town, the Ben Affleck directed heist film. Great film. I mean, absolutely great. I like that line where he says, I'm gonna hurt a lot of people. Are you in? Whose car are we taking? It's a great film. Next we have the Toy Story trilogy. Because for me, there's only 3 of them because I don't like Toy Story 4, but Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3 are incredible films. Love those. Next I have To Kill a Mockingbird. This is the I believe 50th anniversary edition. I don't know when it came out, but To Kill a Mockingbird is a very good movie. It's not a movie that I call to watch it every now and then, but I do like a good little courtroom drama movie, and I like Gregory Peck. Next we have Training Day. I've never seen Training Day, but I've heard it's really good. It won Denzel his Oscar, but I think it was just a makeup Oscar for Malcolm X. Next we have Trouble with the Curve. Really like Trouble with the Curve. I think it's a very, very good film. Next we have Troy. This is the based off the Iliad. I think it was a Wolfgang Peterson. I think he just died recently. I like Troy. It's not the best movie, but it's not terrible. Next, I have the original True Grit. I've never seen the original True Grit, but this is what won John Wayne his Oscar. But once again, I think it was an Oscar that say we respect what you've done your entire career, Mr. Wayne. And but I think I would like it because I like most John Wayne films. And then I had the remake of True Grit, directed by the Coen brothers. I really do like this one. Jeff Bridges is great as a character, and also this is the film that gave us Haley Steinfeld. Unbreakable. This movie, I just recently rewatched it. Still just as good. M. Night Shyamalan, classic film. Great characters. I love how it's a superhero movie without really being a superhero movie. I mean, it is a superhero movie, pretty much. But yeah, it's great. Next, we have Uncharted. Uncharted, this is just how much was a big gash in my Blu-ray. That's so sad. I did buy this used though from McKay's, so you get what you get. I did like Uncharted. I like the games a lot better, but the movie was better than what I was expecting it to be. And I'll see a second one. Why not? I just don't think Mark Wahlberg's really Sully. Next we have Uncut Gems. This was a great Adam Sandler movie, a dramatic role that he was in. I really did enjoy this one. Next we have Unforgiven, probably my favorite Clint Eastwood Western film. It's just such a good film. And it really just changes what a typical Western was. And it was really I really think the last great Western made. Next we have Unknown. This was the one where Liam Neeson, he forgets who he is, and he finds out he's an assassin, of course. And it's not a bad film. Next we have The Untouchables. This is a Kevin Costner film where they are like police and they're teaming up to take down Al Capone, who was played by Robert De Niro. This is actually a really decent movie. It also had Sean Connery in it. Next we have Upgrade. Upgrade is a Blumhouse horror type film, kind of like a Terminator. Really like Upgrade. I think it really surprised me at how good it was. Next I have a combo pack of V for Vendetta, The Watchmen, and Constantine. I recently watched Watchmen for the first time. Did not care for it. V for Vendetta I do really like, and Constantine I've never seen. Valkyrie, this is the one that Bryan Singer directed. This is Tom Cruise. They basically have a plan to kill Hitler, and it doesn't work. Next we have A Walk Among the Tombstones. This is a Liam Neeson movie. I've never seen it, but I heard good things about it. Wall Street. Greed is good. Never seen it though, but I've heard it's good. Next we have Walk the Line, probably from one of my favorite directors right now. Forget what the guy's name is though. Oh, James Mangold, and he's directed a lot of my favorite movies. Hell, I think I have a lot of them. But yeah, that movie's all about Johnny Cash. Very good. Warcraft, very enjoyable fantasy film based off of the World of Warcraft video games. I never played those video games, but I really did enjoy the movie, and I would have seen a sequel. Warm Bodies. This is a romantic comedy, but the guy's a zombie and he's becoming more alive. I heard it's good. I've never seen it. Warrior. I just recently reacquired Warrior by old copies. Blu-ray wasn't working anymore, so I re-picked it up. Hopefully this new copy works. But Warrior is an excellent film, and it's just one of the best sports movies of during the 2010s. Next, I have War for the Planet of the Apes. This film concluded the rise of the Planet of the Apes trilogy. This one's great. This is my least favorite of the three, but it's still a damn good movie. I want to get Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but I'll get that eventually. Next, we have The Way Back. This is Ben Affleck basketball movie. It came out during COVID, so I watched it from home, and I really did enjoy it. It's a very good film. It's also directed by Gavin O'Connor, who directed Warrior as well. So, very good movie. Next, we have Wedding Crashers. Hilarious film. Really like Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson in the movie. And the Will Ferrell scene makes the movie. Next, we have West Side Story, the original. I really like the original West Side Story. The music's iconic. The characters are great. Really enjoyed that film. And then I have the remake of West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg. Really liked the remake as well. The music was good. The characters were a little more authentically cast in this one. So I really like that one. Next we have The Wind Rises. The Wind Rises is a Hayao Miyazaki film, which is about jet for the Japanese military during World War II. This is a beautiful animated film that was supposed to be Miyazaki's last film, but then he made that one that me and my girlfriend saw last year that we really didn't care for. Next we have Wind River. This is another movie. This one is actually directed by Taylor Sheridan. Like I said, I liked Taylor Sheridan before it was cool. Wind River is a great film, though. I mean, Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, they're trying to find this girl who's been dead for a while. So it's pretty good. Next, I have the classic film Wizard of Oz. I've had this movie for years. This was one of my mom's favorite movies of all time before, and I wanted to buy the movie to feel closer to my mom. So Wizard of Oz is one of those movies that I really like. And I was going to watch Wizard of Oz before Wicked came out, but I might check it out next year now, since really I can. Next, we have Where the Crawdads Sing. Never seen this movie. This is one of my girlfriend's movies. Next, we have The Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street is an incredible film. Absolutely love this movie. And I also have the steelbook of it, and it's beautiful. Love a steelbook. It feels so nice. Next, we have the Wolverine. This was Wolverine's in Japan. He kind of wants to die, but he doesn't want to die. So it's a very cool samurai Japanese Wolverine film. Next, we have Wonder Woman. Love Wonder Woman. This one is great. This is really the first successful female superhero film, and Gal Gadot was born to play, and also like her and Chris Pine's chemistry with each other. I'm sad that we won't get to see any more Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot since DC's rebranded. Next, I have the collection of the X-Men films. Really do like X-Men. It's a great film. First X-Men, really inspirational for other superhero films. X2 is awesome. X3 sucks. Next, I have X-Men First Class. Awesome movie set in the 1960s. Really dig X-Men First Class. It's such a good one. X-Men Days of Future Past is awesome as well. I mean, it's basically Terminator 2. Next, we have X-Men Apocalypse. Didn't love this movie, but, it's okay. I mean, it's just... I remember watching the Apocalypse cartoon on some of the animated series. It could have been so much better. Yesterday is great. And this is basically premise of it is that the Beatles music disappears, and this guy is the only person, one of the few people in the world who remembers the Beatles. So he recreates the Beatles songs as his own, and it's a really good movie. Next, we have Young Guns. I've heard this is good, but I've never seen it. Your Name. Love Your Name. The animation is absolutely stunning. The characters are great. I love the time travel, body Freaky Friday-ness of this movie. It's just such a good animated film. Zero Dark 30. This is another really good film. Really enjoy it. And it's just such a good story about how we got Bin Laden. And finally, Zootopia. This is the animation movie. Like I said, Zootopia is great. I really enjoyed it. I saw there was supposed to be Zootopia 2 next year. I don't know if that's true or not, because I don't really believe anything I ever see, really. You might be thinking to yourself, I am done watching this really long video, but I have to save the best for last. Star Wars. Star Wars, I have it in its own separate section, so I thought I would just bank that at the end of the video, because the best for last, right? So I have the original Star Wars trilogy on Blu-ray. This is movies that I will want to upgrade to 4K and rewatch them, because I think they'll be great to rewatch. Next, I have Solo. I have this on 4K. This is I really like this cover of the Millennium Falcon. I really did like Solo. I know a lot of people didn't, but Solo has grown on me. I have the first 2 seasons of Star Wars Rebels. I need to complete that, but I just don't want to pay a stupid price for them, really. Next, I have the Steelbook of Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. I think the best Disney Star Wars film they have made so far. I really do enjoy Rogue One. Next, we have the original Star Wars trilogy, and just like I said before, I will want to upgrade this to 4K eventually. Next, we have the steelbook Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Really like this steelbook. It's really pretty. I just wish I had a fondness for the new Star Wars trilogy. And finally, I have Star Wars: The Last Jedi. This is the I don't have Rise of Skywalker. I bought it when it came out. I let my friends borrow it. I have never gotten it back. I'm kind of okay with it because it's one of those movies that I will eventually pick back up. But I'm not paying more than $4 for it. I'll be honest with you. All right, guys, that concludes my Star Wars. That concludes my movie collection and TV collection. So I love physical media. It's one of my biggest passion. Whenever I go somewhere, I like to see if there's a physical media store where I can find some movies. Because one day, the next gaming console, I talked about in my last video, there will not be a way for me to watch these movies. So that makes me very sad. But because then it's all going to be digital, which I don't really like the whole idea of digital because the studio could just take it away from you. So, but if I buy it physically, I always have it. So guys, that pretty much it. How many movies do you own? I don't even know. I have the number. You could kept count. I don't know. I don't know how many I have. It's on my app. But whatever movie you are like, wow, that was a really cool addition. Comment below. Let me know. And guys, if you like the video, click the thumbs button, subscribe, see more, and tell your friends about Easy Nation. All too easy.